Top on the brief this morning is the president continuing his role as the nation's chief salesman, wooing investors with an assurance that the continent is fertile ground for investment. He believes that international financiers should look in the direction of the global south, like Africa, for strategic investment in places like agriculture, infrastructure, and other forms of development. President Bola Tinubu gave his position when he received a delegation from the International Finance Corporation led by his managing director, Makta Diop, and a member of the World Bank Group at the Villa. On his part, IFC's MD says the working visit has afforded the team to engage in productive conversations bordering on agriculture, transportation, and regional integration.
It was a great opportunity to review the portfolio of IFC in Nigeria. Currently, IFC is the second largest portfolio in Africa, and we are investing massively in Nigeria. We discussed the priority of the government, of his government, and how IFC can support them. Specifically, we discussed about infrastructure and the need to increase investment in infrastructure for logistics. We discussed about agriculture, where we would like to make even more investment. Just for your information, we are investing largely in fertilizer and would like now to invest more in large-scale agriculture. And the president has given us his support and blessing to go in that direction. The third one was regional integration, because we need to. Nigeria is the largest economy in the continent, and the integration with the rest of the continent is essential. So
well, in a few hours from now, Nigerians will likely get to know how much the federal government is now proposing as a new national minimum wage. You can imagine the anticipation. And this is because after last night's meeting of the tripartite committee, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Hope Uzodinma, says the committee will arrive at a figure by today when it reconvenes by 11 a.m. On the rumors making the round that a figure of about 105,000 naira has been agreed, Governor Uzodinma says no such decision has been reached, but assured that today's meeting will reveal the exact amount. The federal government, as at the last figure, had proposed 60,000 naira, an amount Labour rejected and proceeded on a strike. But after meeting with government, it promised to do better than 60,000.
We are making remarkable progress. We've made a lot of progress. Our discussions have been very smooth, and we are almost getting to the point of agreement by all the three parties. I'm sure by tomorrow, when we reconvene by 11 o'clock, we will reach to some concrete kind of agreement, and that will be the position of that we will present to the plenary for adoption. We are taking a holistic approach to the whole issue, because it's not about minimum wage. Wages should be anchored around our capacity to generate revenue, and the sovereignty of the country is important to all of us. It is not about the workers, it's about Nigerians, and it's about our nation. And we have an obligation as citizens to work in hand with the government of the day to ensure that the prosperity comes.
So we're counting down, but there's an assurance coming from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale, Edun, asking everyone to calm down over the issue of the national minimum wage. He gave that brief response to reporters when he was asked about the negotiation by the tripartite committee after meeting with President Bola Tinubu, who asked for a new minimum wage template and its fiscal implication. Mr. Edun had met with the president in company of the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, and they were part of those who participated in meeting with the delegation of the International Finance Corporation at the Villa. The mining collapse in Shiroro district of Niger State that left at least 30 persons dead has perhaps prompted the Senate to seek further strengthening of the mining regulations by the federal government. The Senate maintains that it is in line with global best practices and also calls for security deployment to mining communities to prevent further intrusion by informal miners. The resolution by the members of the upper legislative chamber follows a motion by Senator Sani Musa on the urgent need to address incident of rock slide which buried 30 persons in Farindoki community of Niger State. Some landowners in the FCT may be in for a shocker if the resolution by the House of Representatives is implemented by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The lawmakers in the Green Chamber are asking that land allocation in the FCT between January 2023 to August 2023 be withdrawn. Part of the reasons for this resolution by the House is that there was no FCT minister in office from May to August 2023, and also resolved to investigate alleged fraudulent allocations within the same period.
The House therefore resolves to A. Investigate all allocations of land in the name of the Minister of the FCT Abuja given within the period of 29th May 2023 to the 21st August 2023 when the office was vacant. Secondly, that all such lands which are subject to litigation or multiple allocation should be identified and their allocations withdrawn by the Minister.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, has berated Labour over the shutting down of the national grid, describing it as treasonable felony. Senator Akume says organized Labour must be circumspect in pressing home their demands for a minimum wage and reversal in electricity tariff hike. The AGF laid bare his mind while addressing the National Executive Council of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja.
Everything this government is doing is people-centered. President feels it. Our people must rise up. They must have something in their pocket. It's not just question that you say that you want 100,000, if you want 100,000 and there is no productivity. And all we're looking at what productivity, power sector, this is what we're doing, and so on and so forth. Look, when you go on strike, you give 15 days notice. They didn't. But nowhere in the world has labor tampered with the national grid. You don't, it's treason. Treasonable felony is economic sabotage. You don't do that. And normally, when you go on strike, just say yes. Don't go and beat people in the office. People who are in the office are beating them, they must go away. It is never done. I have a civil service background. I joined the service after I left the university, rose to become permanent secretary before I ventured into politics.
Well, in what sounds like an appeal and a notice, this is in business. The Acting Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission is asking stakeholders and key stakeholders in the capital market to collaborate with the Commission in addressing substantial issue of unclaimed dividends, which currently stands at a staggering 190 billion naira. We stated this during a meeting with the Association of Securities Dealing Houses of Nigeria and Abuja, describing unclaimed dividends as a monster in the capital market, which must be tackled swiftly. The acting DG further emphasized that the Commission would address these challenges in the shortest time possible and invited action to submit practical proposal on how to reduce the current level of unclaimed dividends. Time to check in with your stockbroker is now with this particular notice from the SEC. And on the international scene, transparency is what the United States is seeking from their allies Israel over an airstrike that reportedly killed at least 35 people at the Central Gaza school packed with displaced people. A warplane is reported to have fired 2 missiles at the classrooms on the top floor of the school in the urban Nazareth refugee camp, but the Israeli military said it conducted what it considered precise strike on a Hamas compound in the school, a claim Hamas has denied. As a result, U.S. State Department spokesperson Martin Miller said Israel must publicly identify the Hamas fighters he claims to have killed. Now, it will be a crucial cracker for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who have resolved to get all 3 points when they meet South Africa in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium in New York later today. But with the absence of African Player of the Year Victor Osimhen owing to injury, head coach Finidi George is expected to deploy trio of Kelechi Iheanacho, youngsters like Victor Boniface and Ademola Lookman. Injuries to defenders William Ekong, Kenneth Emerua, Jamiu Collins and Zaidu Sanusi mean George will seek alternative rear guard service against the South Africans. The 3-time African champions are third in Group C with 2 points, while South Africa are second with 3 points. Those are the stories we've been tracking the last 24 hours and later part of just last night, and will form part of our conversation for today on the show and the rest of the day.